Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tea Time Tuesday with Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness and Heather Fiore from Free State Nutrition. And we got our tea again. And just so you know, it's the same as last time because I liked it so much. I thought maybe I should do this as like a sun tea. I thought that would be really nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and maybe like throw some orange pieces in there. I think
crazy there.
Yeah, well, you know, crazy.
Definitely.
Anyways, today we are going to be talking about the Dirty Dozen, right?
That's right. Yes.
So Heather today has for us the list of the Dirty Dozen this year. So what is that? What is on that list this year?
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can just bring this right up here to show you. So this cute little thing is the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, and you can get this on their website. I don't know if that's clear. So, but you can definitely see there, the list changes a little bit every year, so it's worth, finding out what the list is, because they research it every year to make sure they're up to date. But it is a lot of these same items here. So strawberries are almost always
at the top,
near the top, or one of the top couple there. Then you got spinach, you got nectarines, you got apples, and you'll notice these are things that don't have big, thick peels. And so It's not just a matter of like, do they have lots of pesticides, but does the pesticide actually get into the fruit, and then do you eat it? Yeah, so it's those two things.
See, I always just kind of assumed that you ate it on the outside, but I didn't necessarily think that it gets in. But when you're looking at this list, strawberries, you could have a strawberry patch, even do like something small.
That's true.
There's lots of people that grow grapes and apples. I don't know about the nectarines. I've never had good luck with spinach, but maybe somebody does. I don't know about cherries either. Some people do, and some people don't. I have a pear tree. My neighbor has a pear tree. So see, you can have your own there. Tomatoes, we can all grow tomatoes. I don't know about celery. Potatoes, though, I mean, those are pretty, and bell peppers, if you can eat them. I can't eat them. They're like, cause the worst indigestion. That is not fun the rest of the day. They're not worth it.
Okay.
But
yeah, a lot of those you can grow yourself.
Definitely, and especially like this becoming garden season. So there's a lot on that list that actually you can make free. So anyways, so these are things probably that we should buy organically, right? So that we can cut down on the pesticides that are on it, right? So that's going to save us money in the long run, because then we don't have to buy everything organic. And I find that, a lot of people are like, go organic, buy everything organic, but that's expensive.
It is very expensive. And, sometimes the organic stuff doesn't look as good, and then you're spending more money and you're buying stuff. I mean, we need to get over our food looking perfect when we buy it at the store. But the reality is, if you're going to spend extra money, you don't want to buy this bruised looking stuff. So it is hard, but this list helps, because then you can make choices. It's like, well, some of this stuff I can grow, and some of it I can buy organic, and then all the other stuff I don't have to worry so much about.
Exactly. So are there any other like benefits to going organic, or, pros and cons to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, one of the other things about, one of the positive aspects of going organic that, we don't always think about is the positive impact on the environment, because there's the soil, and there's the effect on the, the bugs and the animals, and, just all sorts of different parts of the environment that, agriculture has a huge impact on.
This is true.
And when you use fewer pesticides, then it's better for the environment. You don't have the runoff, and then it's going into the water, and, all the, implications of using all these pesticides.
And, it's funny that you talk about runoff, because you don't really think of how far that runoff goes. And I know, like, my pond gets runoff actually from my neighbor's field, and it bugs me. And so, because I know that they spray, but I can't do anything about it. You can't change that. So that, and then that gets into the fish, and then do we,
it just goes.
It just keeps going. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So there's other things too to think about. like for infants and babies, I guess, and young children, it's important because their bodies are so much smaller than ours, and compared to the amount of food that they eat, their bodies are small and they're growing and developing, and they're doing all this, and so they have they're getting a higher concentration of the pesticide, and so that's a kind of important thing to think about.
That is actually, especially like unborn babies, because they're still developing, and so when you're getting that, when you're eating it, then it can cross the you're into your placenta. It can cross the placenta and then enter the baby, and it actually does change the neurochemistry in babies and can change development. And so some of them are linked to birth defects. So so something that we can talk a little bit about later. So what about locally grown? Because there's a lot of CSAs and farmers markets around. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a really great option for a number of reasons. If you're just at the grocery store and there happens to be locally grown something or other, you're supporting your local farmer, which is obviously great.
Yeah, definitely.
If you can go to a farmer's market, you could actually potentially talk to the farmer and you can find out how they grow their stuff. You can ask them questions. They can tell you all about it. And likely they use the minimum amount of pesticide needed, or maybe they don't even use pesticide. They might use organic practices, but they don't qualify to be technically organic, but they're still doing the practices, which is pretty darn good.
I've heard that it's pretty expensive to actually be certified as organic, and so a lot of farmers, they don't necessarily want that cost. But they still want their food to be healthy, and so they're still doing the same practices. They just don't
takes a number of years too for the soil to process out all the.
Definitely.
I don't know the details, but it's a really lengthy and expensive process. So they may not be certified organic, but still, if it's local and they're using fewer pesticides or none, it's a win all around.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, and the other piece about local is the transportation. So you don't have the fossil fuels carting the stuff all around the country. So that's another environmental positive.
Sure, definitely. Anything else?
Well, just I guess kind of maybe a final thought that I just want to say, but I do want to ask you a little bit about what you know about pesticides. But I think it's important to say that people who eat fruits and vegetables, whether they're conventionally grown or organic or whatever, live longer, healthier lives. And so, that's important to remember that, we do the best for ourselves and for our kids and everything. But at the end of the day, eating, conventionally grown strawberries is still better than not eating them at all.
Yeah.
So,
but
maybe you can tell me a little bit and tell us all about, what you know about why pesticides are something to worry about.
So, there's lots of yucky chemicals in our food. It's really amazing, actually. Sometimes, going to the grocery store, you read the labels and everything, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But, those chemicals, they can be endocrine disruptors, they can be hormone disruptors, they can increase the production of certain hormones, and they can decrease the production of others. They can actually mimic hormones, so they can turn one hormone into another. They can interfere with hormone signaling. They can tell cells to prematurely die. It's really crazy what all these things can do. And there's one that I'm going to talk about later called atrazine, which is a very interesting one. It has a little interesting tale that's kind of scary. But they also will compete with essential nutrients. They bind essential hormones, and they actually can accumulate in your organs that produce hormones. Yes. So your sex hormones, your brain, pituitary gland, all of that. It's crazy. So the ones that there's actually the EWG also has a chemical dirty dozen. So there's 3 on that list actually that have to do with produce. So one of them is BPA, which a lot of time you'll hear about that with plastic,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually also in the receipts.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
And so you can get it through the receipts. And BPA is also in lining cans in canned food,
mm-hmm.
which that one was new to me. So it actually imitates sex hormones, and it's linked to breast cancer and other cancers. Mm-hmm. It's also linked to obesity, early puberty, and heart disease. Right?
Yikes.
I know, and it's everywhere. That's the
everywhere.
Scary thing. But you know the craziest thing is that according to government tests, 93% of Americans have this in their body, which is really crazy because they didn't test my body. So I'm not sure. But probably I do from the receipts because I do take them I try not to, okay, so I do use plastic, but sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I should switch to glass. But, it's really so readily available. Mm-hmm. And I'm always afraid that if I give my kid glass, they're going to die. Or they're going to drop it and step on it, and I'm going to have to clean all of that. So I still use plastic, but I think about it. Anyways, ways to avoid it because it is in cans is to go fresh instead of canned foods.
And frozen.
And frozen, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Except for, is it in the bags? No. I don't know. I hope not.
I don't think so.
But fresh or frozen is better than canned. So let's talk about atrazine. That's the next one. And so atrazine is, so atrazine actually causes feminization. Yes, boys, feminization. So it actually has been known to turn male frogs into female frogs, and they actually can produce eggs, viable eggs. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually used widely in the corn crops in the U.S. And so it's actually widely found in our water supply from runoff. There you go, boys. Yes. Little atrazine in your water.
Terrifying.
I know. Hopefully you guys don't get any problems. But it is linked to breast cancer. I mean, that was kind of a given, right? Mm-hmm. I bet it's linked to ovarian cancer because it's also linked to prostate hypertrophy and prostate cancer. This one is also linked to birth defects because, it's in the water and you're drinking it and you're pregnant and you're not knowing that. And then it crosses the placenta. So that's kind of scary. And then it also delays puberty, which is kind of crazy. And it is a herbicide. That's why it's used in the corn crop. And so with this, how to avoid it. So you can buy organic produce so it's not on your produce. And then you can actually get a filter to put on your water that is certified against atrazine. And then you can filter it out of your water. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that sounds like an expensive filter, but
probably might be worth it.
It might be worth it, I think. So our boys aren't turning to girls. And then the last one, organophosphates. Like that's the one that we always think about in pesticides. So the biggest thing with organophosphates is that it's actually a neurotoxin. So it does affect brain development, behavior, and fertility. And so when you get this, so on your food and stuff, when you're pregnant, it can go across the placenta, and it does affect baby brain development. But also in kids, like you were saying, kids and infants, well, your infants really aren't eating an apple, but your toddlers are starting to eat those apples and stuff. And so and their brain is still developing. I mean, the child brain continues to develop as they age. And so they're taking in a lot of this stuff, and it does affect their brain development. It also interferes with the way testosterone communicates with its cells, actually decreasing testosterone. And it lowers thyroid hormone levels. So we see that a lot, right? And everyone's always wanting their thyroid checked. And so, yeah, we see that a lot. So how do we avoid this? Buy organic. So, or maybe not buy organic, but check the local farmers that are seeing if they are doing some some of the organic practices
or
instead.
if they particularly avoid those chemicals.
Yeah, maybe they just avoid these. That would be good.
Yeah.
So anyways, that is what we were going to talk about today. Should we do the Clean 15 next time?
Well, I feel like it kind of...
Or should we just say them?
I feel like it kind of goes... And we could end on a positive note here because we're kind of a downer.
No, I know we really have been. Sorry, guys. So we will show you the Clean 15. And my favorite one is that one on the top, avocados.
Yay.
I love avocados, and they're such a healthy fat, right?
Yes, they are for sure. We can talk about that another time.
Sweet corn. I like that. The sweet corn. Pineapples. Oh, my son loves pineapples.
Yeah.
I can't see what that next one is.
Cabbages.
Cabbage, maybe?
Yeah.
Onions. Oh, sweet peas. I love those. Papaya, maybe?
What does it say?
Papaya.
Yep, and then asparagus.
Oh, I love asparagus. And mangoes. Yep. Eggplants. Oh, I'm not a fan. Honeydew. Oh, I love honeydew. Maybe I just haven't figured out a way to cook it well.
Yeah, it's the best.
Kiwi, cantaloupe, cauliflower, and broccoli. Oh, I like those. So those are always around my house.
So those guys, no need to worry about organic for sure.
So those you buy when they're cheap on sale, and you don't have to worry because they have a thick skin, right?
Mostly, yeah.
And a lot of times you even take the skin off.
Right. Well, some of them, like broccoli and cauliflower, it's not that they have a thick skin. It's just that when they're grown, they don't need a lot of pesticide. I think maybe bugs don't like them.
Yeah, well, that's maybe why they're so good for us. Anyways, so we should, what are we going to do next time?
Oh,
what do you think?
Good question. Well, we have potential things we could talk about here that I've written down.
Should we do kombucha? You know what? That one's a big topic with people.
True.
And people like to do that kombucha diet, you know, or toxic cleaning, you know. Of course there is around everything.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about kombucha, and then maybe we can even touch on probiotics, but we might just do that one. Seltzer? What?
I was thinking about you. Yes, we will do seltzer next time, or
we'll add it to our list for sure. Thank you, Elizabeth. We will add seltzer to our list, and it will be one of our upcoming. Why seltzer?
Well, it's just a matter of is it good for your teeth? Does it count as water? Is it not as good?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, so that will be on our future list. We will add it. Kombucha, though, I think is coming next. I know you do, Elizabeth, so we will definitely add it.
We gotcha.
All right. Anything else? Any other comments anyone has, leave them, and we will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.